You and I think, have talked probably on multiple occasions about the NPV. This is the National Popular Vote. And it didn't even occur to me that after this past midterm elections that the terrain may have shifted. Explain to people what the NPV is and why this is, in many respects, one of those electoral reforms that Democrats can actually implement without controlling all three branches of the federal government.
That's exactly right. And it's a wonderful way to bring it up. Bob McChesney and I have written a number of books together, working on a book that actually won't come out for another year or so, but it's called This Way Out. And it's on the things you can do without amending the Constitution and maybe without even having full control of government, although some of them would require that. And you're pointing to something that is critical. First off, let's begin with the premise that the Electoral College should not exist. It's a bad entity that both parties should be opposed to for a variety of reasons. It allows losers of the popular vote to become president of the United States. And so we want to get rid of it. Usually when you have a reform in American politics, one party or the other gets excited and tends to advance it more aggressively. Democrats have a real reason to be aggressive in this because twice in the last 16 or last 18 years, they've won the presidency in the popular vote and then lost it in the Electoral College. So you have an argument for getting rid of the Electoral College, and amending the Constitution to do that is a great idea. More power to you. It's just hard. Whereas there is this alternative developed by Jamie Raskin and a number of other thinkers, which says, let's just have the states agree to a compact. They'll all agree, legislatures will pass this, to say that if enough states to equal 270 votes, what you need to win the Electoral College, agree to this, then we will award our electoral votes, as states can, because there's really very little controls on this, to the winner of the popular vote. And this is strikingly, it's doing very, very well as an initiative. Right now, Colorado's working on it. We've had, every year more states, jump in and sign on. You literally have, you're not up to 270 yet, but you have a substantial number of states with a lot of electoral votes that have bought into this. This is one of the potential reforms that you might do. I advocate, in a new article in The Nation, simply saying, Democrats need to start talking about the Electoral College on a whole bunch of levels, a whole lot more, because it is absurd to be in a situation where you literally win the presidency by 3 million votes and don't get it. And you can't just let that happen, because then when you start to look at it, and I think this is one of the things that's moving a lot of these reform efforts in the states, potentially even nationally, is that 3 million seems like a lot of votes. The truth of the matter is that there, but for a couple of twists and turns, you could get up to 5 million, 8 million, 10 million vote margin. Somebody could lose the presidency of the United States by 10 million votes and still assume the presidency because of the Electoral College. This is something that every Democratic candidate for president should make central to, what they're talking about. As part of a broader reform agenda.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and people can go Google this, and I think we're right now at around over 170 electoral votes in terms of I think 12 states that have signed on to this. But we picked up some Democratic houses in this last midterm, and we could see this, we could be picking up, we could be a lot closer to 270, certainly maybe if not, in the next year or two, but certainly within 2 years, we could be pushing over 270. But in the meantime, we have run out of time. John Nichols, always a pleasure. Thanks for updating us on it.